Hello friends and welcome to the stream. My name is Serge, Pilot Club 6, and this morning we're continuing our TPC Charters Airline regional operations flights with a flight from San Francisco to Los Angeles this morning with 89 passengers on the MiniFest. I hope you guys are having a good Friday. Hey, Mitsuki's here. Welcome, welcome. Well, I flew with the club yesterday, flying Thursday. We flew into Boston, and it was awesome. I flew DCA to Boston. It was a great flight, about 30-minute delay en route. Boston was busy. So today we return to our regular TPC Charters Airline flights in our Embraer E190. Again, SFO to LAX, 89 passengers on the MiniFest. Talk about the flight a little bit. It is scheduled for estimated time en route of 50 minutes. So probably right about an hour, I think is what it's going to be in reality. With a distance of 322 miles. We're going to cruise at 31,000 feet. And we are posted up here at the gate. What gate is that? I think B12. Alright, so before we get things going, I wanted to remind you that today's flight is brought to you by thepilotclub.org for group flights, activities, flight school, VATSIM training, virtual airline, flights and resources, and more. Check out thepilotclub.org. Alright, very good. So everything's seems to be working well. And beautiful day here in San Francisco, although there is some rain coming, I think, a little bit later. So we will take a look at that. I think it's going to be okay. We checked our route weather, no issues, flying south to LAX. So it should be really good flight. Yesterday the conditions were a little bit interesting with some rain in the area of Boston, but it was great overall. It was good also to do night ops, so we did that. All right, so here we are in the flight deck here. Let's turn our batteries on. No smoking signs. We can turn on our emergency lights. And we'll go here. Let the displays wake up. That looks nice. Okay, we do have GPU power. We'll take that. We'll go to flight details. Import flight plan from our dispatch. San Francisco to LA. Alright, there's the flight. 89 passengers. And I think we had 7,000 pounds of cargo. Well, we'll see how that goes, right? So alright, we go to our MCDU. Let's get that zoomed in. We did get a squawk code, no ATC out of San Fran, so 3727. Plug that in. And then we need our SFO frequency. Let's see, I think the tower is 1205. We'll check that with VATSIM. It is indeed 1205. We'll put 1228 here in standby, 1228 in COM 2, 1215 here, and 1215 in COM 3. Go here, turn on VHF 3, do PA, and we can start boarding. Wow, should take 17 minutes. Okay. Mitsuki says, trying to figure out what kind of jobs I do on an F-28. 85 seats, full economy, doesn't give me much options apparently for our FBOs. Yeah, I think you mentioned in Discord, you're probably better off just picking a few jobs and filling the airplane that way. Alright, so let's go here. Get some things set up. Alright, we don't need nav aids. Airports, we'll take TCAS and terrain. That's looking good. Alright, brakes can go to RTO. Alright, anyways, we'll check CBs. No CBs out or locked. That's good. We'll go to route. Database is correct. We are going to LAX.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board the Embraer aircraft. On behalf of the captain and all cabin crew, we would like to wish you a safe flight. Before taking your seats, please make sure that your small hand luggage, including backpacks, handbags, and shopping bags from the duty-free zone, it was placed only under the seats in front of you, leaving space on the shelves for large hand luggage. Please do not place luggage in the aisles or in the area of emergency exits. Passengers sitting in emergency rows are asked to ensure that their hand luggage is placed on the shelves during takeoff and landing, leaving the floor clear of any objects. Please activate airplane mode on electronic devices with network connectivity. Charging electronic devices is prohibited, and if you notice any irregularities in their operation, please contact the onboard crew immediately. At the same time, we would like to inform you that drinking alcohol not purchased on board, smoking, and using e-cigarettes is prohibited. Thank you for your attention.
Alright, so we put our flight plan in Ironman 2. Burglar. Alright, we're departing runway 1 right, and we're expecting runway 6 left at LAX. Alright, we'll go to flight plan. Stick is our first fix. Stick Porte. Yep, alright, so left turn to stick and then sharp left to get back on course. So, yeah, you know, I don't know. I hear you. They're with OnAir. Their jobs sometimes don't match. But looks like you found something there. Okay, so that's good. That's great. All right, so let's go here. We'll go to performance. Performance in it. We'll pick up our cruise winds. Take a look at our OFP here. Winds are 229 at 32. Okay, that is looking good. We'll go 0.78 and 300.78 for our speedy descent. We'll go to performance here. Takeoff. We're departing 1 right, so 014 is our runway heading. And we need our wind, 330 at 8. Okay, I think that's all we need here. Let me see. Yep. All right, cool. And while we have the OFP here, let's check our block fuel is 10.1. Okay, good. By the way, let's get our services. Very good. All right, we'll go here. 1 right is drive, flaps 2, 3014. That's already set, and we'll go ahead and calculate, and let's go to manifest. Trim is 3.3, good. And we'll go ahead and send to MCDU and let the first officer do what he does, or she. And Mitsuki says, might have to use another plane for charters then. Okay. Got you. Alright, let's see how we're doing with, yep, we got our catering, we're loading our bags, and we'll go here, do our fire test. Alright. Start APU. Let's do DVR test. No messages. Looking good. Let's go ahead and turn on nav. Should have done that before. Alright, everything's looking good there. We will look at our departure chart. Top altitude, flight level 190. Okay, that's looking good. So it looks like we got our V speed. So rotate 133. That looks correct. So we're doing takeoff 2, rated to 33. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. That's no problem. Alright, let's go to radios here. Alright, APU's online. Electrical pump A is on system 3. And we can let go the GPU there. Alright, that's looking good. Let's see. Let's get some charts. Alright, it's going to be super easy taxi here. We're at Terminal 1. We'll taxi via Alpha to 1 right. Stick 5 is our departure. Alright, so essentially 210. That's going to be fine. We'll make a left turn to stick and then port A below 10,000. I think we'll be okay there. I think we need to put, let's put 10 here. Okay, that's looking good. What was the heading for 1 right? 014. All right, that is looking good now. We're continue to load here. Let's see. Yep, it is going to take a little bit of time. Mitsuki says it would be likely MD82 or RJ100. Copy, copy. I'm doing well. I'm off today, actually, so long story. Took today off. We're supposed to go camping today and tomorrow and Sunday, but the weather decided not to cooperate. We're expecting a lot of rain over the next 2-3 days, or 2 days at least, so unfortunately we're not going camping. So, you know, I flew last night. I'm gonna fly this morning and enjoy this opportunity. All right, so that's where we at there. I think we need to push this is the taxiway, so we can kind of do a long push here. Alright, so we got our push set up. Alright, we got another 7 minutes here. Alright, sounds good. Let me go brief the cabin crew. Camping via plane. That would be nice. Would love to do that. All right, I'll be right back. Alright, cool. We're back on deck. Looks like they just finished boarding. Fuel is good. So we will go here, turn on the seatbelt signs. And we'll go to ground. Remove these stairs and close the door. And release the jetway.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain's speaking. My name is Martin, and with First Officer Iqbal, we will have the pleasure of leading today's flight. We will soon start taxiing to the runway. The flight should take place on time.
Mitsuki, what's my favorite airport name?
Thank you, and have a smooth flight.
I'm not sure on that one. I mean, I can tell you my favorite airport. Is I have 3 big Bravos here: Dulles, BWI, and DCA. And my favorite airport is DCA. So I guess Reagan, Washington International. It's pretty boring. Alright, so we're good there. We can call the tug now.
Ground, stand by.
They'll connect. Yep, so the only thing we need to change is the sim setting for the crash detection. We'll do that after push. And we can go ahead and close the door.
Stand by for pushback.
Very good, let's start.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead.
We are clear to start the push.
Okay, clear for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
San Francisco traffic, Embraer Pilot Club 6, pushing gate B12 onto Alpha, San Francisco. Peachtree earlier. At least Peachtree part of kind of cute sounding at least. PAX door open. No, it's not. Why are we having this? Let me look. That's a weird bug. Okay, it's fine. It was closed. That's a new one. Oh, what's this tug doing? Come on, guys. Yeah, Peachtree is that's a nice name. Oshkosh is a good sounding name too. Flew into there a couple of times with GA. Door packs forward open. I don't understand why this is happening. Door packs forward. It's not showing open. Why do we have this? It goes away. There's some kind of bug. Alright. We'll check that in a second. Weird. Alright. We'll open it and close it again in a second. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Open the door and close it. That's some kind of issue there. Have the cabin crew check that out in a second once we complete our push.
You may disconnect.
Alright, good. So let me open the door. And we'll close the door. See if that clears it. Anyways, we can go here, turn on our crash damage, and we can start our tracking. Yeah, there's some kind of issue with the notification system or sensor or something like that, but it looks like we resolved it by opening it and closing it again. Alright, we'll go beacon on, starting engine 1. Alright, we're not idle.
Cabin crew, doors on flight and cross check.
Alright, ignition A. And 2 rising. Alright, ITT rising.
We now ask for your full attention as the cabin crew demonstrates the safety features of this aircraft. Please do not use headphones during the demonstration. This aircraft is equipped with 4 main emergency exits, each of them marked with a red exit sign.
Alright, and 1 rising.
The cabin. There are also 2 emergency exits to the wings of the plane in the middle of the plane. Please take a few moments now to locate the nearest exit. In some cases, the nearest exit may be behind you. If you need to evacuate the plane, full-level lighting will guide you towards the exit. To unfasten the seatbelt, insert the metal part into the buckle. It can be adjusted using the
Alright, we got good start on engine 1.
event of a sudden drop in cabin pressure. The individual oxygen masks will automatically fall out of the panel above your heads.
Starting engine 2, ignition B,
Pull the mask firmly to start the flow of
and
oxygen.
2 rising.
Please put it firmly over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Although the bag does not fill with air, the flow of oxygen occurs automatically. If you are traveling with a child or someone who needs help, put the mask on yourself first and then help the other person. The life jacket is located under your seat or in the panel above your heads. In the unlikely event of landing on water, remove the vest and put it over
Alright,
your head.
ITT is
Then
rising.
straps around the waist and adjust them in the front. To inflate the vest, pull the red string firmly only when exiting the plane. To refill the vest, blow into the mouthpiece. Before departure, please read the safety cards, fasten your seatbelts, fold the armrests, and open the windows. For your safety and comfort, we recommend that you
And
keep your
N1 is
seatbelts on
rising.
flight. From now on, portable electronic devices must be set to airplane mode until an announcement is made after landing. We would like to remind you that smoking is strictly prohibited on board, and there are smoke detectors in the toilets. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members. We wish everyone a pleasant flight.
Alright, we got 2 good engines. Turn off APU. And let's do our flight controls check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, and rudder, full left, full right, neutral. That's looking good. Yeah, it looks like our flaps are deploying, or have deployed. Good. And we'll go ahead and start taxi. San Francisco traffic Embraer Pilot Club 6 taxiing to runway 1 right via Alpha, and we'll cross 1 left on Alpha, San Francisco. Yeah, we need a little bit of a push here. Alright, let's check our TO config.
Takeoff, okay.
Alright, we'll arm our takeoff mode, which we forgot to do yesterday, last night's flight. Yeah, Mitsuki, I think it's good. You can kind of write things down and plan it with multi-leg jobs. Thank you. Alright, we're going to be crossing the runway here, so strobe on.
Cabin crew, ready for departure.
San Francisco traffic. Embraer Pilot Club 6 crossing 1 left on Alpha.
01 left. Entered runway 01 left. 8,100 feet remaining.
Final looks clear. Runway looks clear there. All right. San Francisco traffic, Embraer Pilot Club 6, taking runway 1 right for an IFR departure to the south, San Francisco.
Entered runway 01 right. 9,100 feet remaining.
And we'll go ahead and arm auto throttle. All right, Mitsuki, I'll take a look at your comment in a minute once we take off. I'll make sure I'm not going the wrong way there. I kind of did. Let's see here. Yeah, need to go to Lima 2. I see 1 right.
Approaching runway 01 right.
Alright, final is clear.
Entered runway 01 right. 8,600 feet remaining.
Overhead is fine. Some birds again. All right, so let's go. Check. Positive right. flaps 1. Initiate our turn. Flap 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the seatbelt warning lights turn off. For your safety and comfort, we also suggest that you keep your seatbelts fastened throughout the flight in case unexpected turbulence.
What a nice departure here. No, it's not over speed. Flying by hand. SFO. All right, and look at the departure plate here. Port A. Below 10. And let's engage autopilot. All right, 10,000. And then we'll go ahead and dial in our final 31. All right, so look at the comments here. Mechanical indicators in F-28 are fun to look at. Yeah, it's pretty good with the old school instrumentation, like a circle with a white line, painted lines, and overhead display cover. Yep. And the white line turns either aligned to the line or be perpendicular to it, depending on if it's following or not. Yep. Multi-leg, as in I want to go from PDK to Charlotte, but there are no jobs from that job. Yeah, you gotta like write all that down and kind of figure that out, see what jobs are there available, etc. All right, so flew our departure. Go ahead and switch up to 228.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will soon launch our onboard service, offering hot and cold drinks as well as a meal or snack. Please read the onboard menu. If you have a food allergy to any of the ingredients, please inform the cabin crew. At the same time, we kindly inform you that the preferred payment method is payment by card. Thank you.
All right, grade departure. Out of San Fran. Everybody's happy. I'm sure OnAir is happy as well. Yep, 100%. Yeah, it's pretty complicated system there. But whatever works for you.
Climbing through transition altitude.
All right, so we're putting altimeter on standard now, and we'll turn off seatbelt signs. All right, let me throw the map here for y'all. Put the profile on there. Yep, makes sense. Yep, screenshots will work that way, so you don't have to write things down like that. Whatever system you got, it works, it works. All right, let me go chat with the cabin crew and I'll be right back.
destination airport should be good. Do not expect any disruptions during the rest of the flight. However, it is recommended to keep your seatbelts fastened in case of unexpected turbulence.
Alright, we are back on deck. Obviously we've reached our cruise. Matter of fact, we're going to be coming up on top of descent soon, so let's go ahead and get our charts for LAX. It'll take a couple of seconds here. We can get rid of this. Just leave it here for the time being. Alright, so our star is Ironman 2. From Beringher, so let's take a look at that. Beringher, Crowley above 2.6, Muppet 280 above 2.3, M-Dots 200 above 200, Gripper above 19, 1,000, Biking above 16, Run above 14, Ironman 12,000 above 12,000, Simon 250 12,000, Based 240 above 9, Juicy above 8, and then there's Cliffy. Where is that depicted? There's Cliffy, above 7. And then Dodger at 6 at 210. And then Gatto at 6. So, I don't know. I feel like from Based, we'll just go direct because we're landing east. Let me double check, make sure the weather didn't change. Yeah, wind is calm, so we'll take 6. 6 left was the ATIS. Alright, we go to KLAX. Taxi. Landing 6 left. Exit on Sierra, probably right into the terminal. That looks good. We take a look at what our gate's supposed to be. I think we're Terminal 1. Alright, so Terminal 1 right there. Where we're parking. Alright, we're coming up on top of descent there. Let's see here. So our first restriction from Beringher is Crowley above 2.6. So we'll go to 2.6. BS, and we'll go 1500. We're about 70 miles away, so we can probably do 1,000 on the descent. Suki says, short flights in the CJ4 feel very busy. Yeah, that's for sure. Not a lot of time to do things. I mean, I do my flights, as you know, about an hour length is what I try to do for these regional operations. That gives me a little bit of time in cruise to set up for the next phase of flight, and it's fine. Alright, so we auto-tuned the 6 left ILS, looks like. Uh, 1085. Course 71, that looks good. Our minimums are 370. Let's plug that in. Alright, so we got our minimums, that's good. So basically, I think from Simon we'll go straight to Walker. Let's see if we have that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just started our descent. Please stay seated. Our onboard service will soon walk through the cabin to collect unnecessary
Let's
waste.
see here, gripper, biking. Next one is run.
Destination Avis is 133.8.
Clever, Nathan. That's something different here. Some kind of mismatch in the box. Okay, so biking and then clever. So let's see. So from biking we need to be on vectors and heading mode. So we'll do that. Alright, Crowley above 2.6. I was going to say, Mitsuki, what cruise level are you selecting for these flights, and what's the duration of the flight and the distance? You may want to lower your cruise level. If it's a short flight, you don't go to, 4.1 or 3.9 or 3.8 or whatever. You got to pick shorter or lower cruise. And I'll show you one cool feature. Let me throw that on the screen here. I'll show you one cool feature of ForeFlight here. When I select my flight level, I got this box here for my flight level, and it tells me also cruise winds. So for the direction of flight, obviously we're going east, 310. If I was to pick something higher, then you'll see this in the vertical profile. You'll see too short a cruise, and I like to have a little bit of time in cruise. So, I would look at those options here, and SimBrief gives you this as well. So if you go to your OFP, it will give you this information right here for your winds at different altitudes and stuff. So it's pretty neat. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's just much easier in ForeFlight. I think Little NavMap has the vertical profile planning as well. So, alright, so coming up to 2.6, that's our first restriction there, above 2.6, and then after Crowley we'll go to Muppet 2.3 at 280. Let me also get our frequency for the tower, 1198, I think. Let me double check that. (12095). Okay. Alright, so we're set with that. Auto brake is going to be low. Let me look at the runway. Landing, what did we say? 6 left. 8,900. Yeah, we can stay with the low brakes, I think is okay. We'll go to manual braking anyways. Alright, looking at the weather now. Wind is 260 at 4. So you can go to performance. 260 60 at 4. All right, our runway heading. 46 left is 071. And our landing temperature there is 14 Celsius. That's good to go. Go landing 142, so let's do 146, just give us a couple extra. All right, that looks good. Let me make sure of something. Okay, arrival 6 left. Yep, that's looking good. There's some fog in the area there, patches of fog, so we will see. MA Comp, yes sir, we're on VATSIM. No controllers though, so we're on CTAF and Unicom. JFoot709, welcome to the stream. I like clicking the button for FlightAware and SimBrief and seeing what flight level in real life flights use. Yeah, that's a good point as well. I'll show you another cool feature here in ForeFlight. When I do my flight planning and I pick the route, here's the real world ATC cleared routes, and it gives you flight level brackets there as well for those real FAA real world filed routes. So obviously this is the first one we got, but there are other options. You can see when they were cleared and how many, etc. So you can kind of see what route to choose, and then kind of I look at that first, and then I look at SimBrief, and most of the time SimBrief gives you one of those first routes there as well. So all right, LAX, we are coming. M8Com says, I've done a bit of VATSIM, quite new. I've gotten to descent in total, then I disconnected because I got nervous. Yeah, so listen, I don't know if you're familiar with the Pilot Club. If you want to check us out, thepilotclub.org. And I'll throw the slide on the screen here. This is the organization that I fly with. So you got lots of options there for group flights activities. We have a flight school for VATSIM to get your P ratings. There's VATSIM training. We do have a virtual airline, so I'm flying this flight for our optional virtual airline. We have Flight Sim resources page where you can learn about VATSIM and phraseology and all that stuff, and so pretty neat. Got about 5,300 members, something like that, so over 5,000 members. We just celebrated our 4th birthday, so really nice organization, friendly people. Matter of fact, Mitsuki's a member there, and I think JFoot709 is there. Is that Joe? I think that's Joe, if I remember correctly. Anyways, a bunch of people there. We do have some VATSIM courses if you don't want to do the full flight school. Everything's free, everything's community driven, so real nice place to be. And we actually started 4 years ago with basically thank you, Mitsuki. Yes, best VATSIM ATO for ratings. Yeah, you can get your P1, P2, P3, which is PPL, multi-engine instrument, and we got commercial coming out, or ATP coming out soon. So I think we got P1 through P3 now available. Anyways, how we started really was just on socials, noticing that people were looking for some help with VATSIM and some support and friendly environment, so we created this organization, and we're now an official nonprofit corporation too, so lots of good benefits come out of that for the club members. So if you want to join, please do, thepilotclub.org. All right, so and while I was talking, of course, we missed our Muppet 280 at 2.3. And so we'll go VS 1500. Speed 280. And our next one, let's see here, Muppet M.200. Yeah, we're a little high now. Okay, so gripper is 1.9er. Is the next one. We'll put that in. Yep, and I'm doing this manually because this aircraft is early access, so it doesn't have active VNav, so you kind of have to do things by hand. All right, anyways, gripper is there, and then biking 16. So we're a little bit above profile here. Yep. But we'll get back on it. JFoot709. Sorry. Yep, that's my mistake. Yep, I was talking really to MA Comp as far as VATSIM stuff goes, but all good. Copy that. All right, look at that coming into these mountains. Clouds looking beautiful. We do have some patches of fog in the area as well. So, all right, guys, we got about 15 minutes of flight remaining. So stick around to see the beautiful landing. And to Mitsuki, I promise you, this is going to be an epic landing. I'm going to work really hard to land this bird nicely. It's going to be firm. It's not going to be butter, because we all know butter belongs on bread. So we got to do a nice firm landing, but we'll do good glide slope procedure and good touchdown. All right, so where we're coming up on biking above 16. Matter of fact, oops, between 200 and 16. So we're good. We're slightly out of range there, and this is where I'm gonna go to heading mode, because this FMS is a little jacked up. So let's go to heading mode. Man, look at those clouds, real nice. Suki says, I gotta learn how to compensate for wind on takeoff. Feels like I easily either veer off of my plane tilts. Yeah, while on the ground, you want to do your ailerons into the wind a little bit, so you turn the yoke a little bit, and then before the touchdown, you release it and continue. But depending on winds, it could mess things up a little bit. All right, so we're going to continue to Simon. Can't see it on the MFD here, but it's there. Mitsuki says, by the way, did you answer the speed brake thing and I missed it, or did you miss it because we talked cruise levels? Yes, I definitely missed it. Let me look. Do you use speed brakes much? Seems F28 manual tells you to use it quite liberally. Yeah, for the E190, I only really use speed brakes if I'm kind of behind the airplane and I need to slow down sort of quickly. Then I'll use the speed brakes. You'll see me sometimes coming into the approach. And usually, if you're ahead of the airplane and do things ahead of time. You know, if you need to start slowing down, you start slowing down, etc. But if you're behind a little bit, then definitely use speed brakes. Nothing wrong with it. 3002 is our altimeter. All right, we got that set, and we're coming up on 16. So let me look here. Right, so Simon 250 at 12. All right, and this is where we're going to start slowing down. We'll go 250 at 12. Maintain our compliance. And basically from Simon we got to turn to Walker, so let's do that right now. Alright, turn on seatbelt signs. So I'll use speed brakes here. As you see, it's aircraft, it's hard to slow down and descend at the same time. So a little bit of speed brakes, as you can see right there. Go a little more even. See, it's going to help us slow down there to 250. Alright, that looks good. And we can switch the nav source to VOR1. Let's go 240 here. And let's see here. On approach, 6 left, we need to be about 36. Alright, we got 36. We'll go 230. We'll activate approach speeds. I tell you what, let me double check our performance here. This is a good opportunity to do that. Let's see, 143, so 146. Keep on the rudders through the rotation. Yep, J-foot 709. That's a good technique for those windy departures. Yeah, you got to think about the speed brake. You're asking the aircraft to slow down while you're descending. Naturally, while you're descending, depending on the rate, you're going to pick up speed. So the aircraft can do both at times, right? I mean, you're going to go engine idle and all that, and still pick up speed. So that's when you use the brakes. So like here, you can see we weren't slowing down enough. So I'm deploying the speed brakes to get to the marker. Alright, we missed our turn. Here, let's go ahead and do that while I was talking. That's okay, and we'll activate approach. Yep, we definitely overshot the localizer. We go to 20 on the speed. Well, we're far out. We're far out to correct that, so no problem. We flew through the localizer because I was talking. All right, we got the loc. 10,000. We can turn the lights on. And we'll go to 210. solver, let's see, Nathan below 36. Yep, now it's picking up that localizer. There's Nathan. Alright. Yep, need more speed brakes. So right there is a good example again. We're descending and we're kind of behind the curve here a little bit, so you can clearly see we're above the glide slope, but we'll get there. Alright, so we're on localizer. Let me go ahead and also switch our frequencies here to the CTAF.
In 12.4 miles.
Alright. I can't even see the field yet. Alright, we're on the path now for 6 left. Good. I'm going to go full speed brakes. Alright, let's go manage speed mode. Gotta go. Yep, we're definitely behind now. Even
below in 7.1 miles.
Even full brakes, we're struggling a little bit here, but we'll get there hopefully. Probably be a go around, so that's what we got 10 miles. It's okay. Los Angeles traffic, Embraer Pilot Club 6, 10 mile final, 6 left. Los Angeles. Yeah, we can't slow down even at max here. Let's see if we can go flaps 1, help us out a little bit. Oh, there's an aircraft coming there. That's kind of close. I'll see if I can catch up with this. Yeah, he's over there. That's pretty close. I don't know why he departed that way. Maybe I'm in the wrong here. Okay, can we, yeah, I see the runway now. Alright, we need to go flaps 2. Let me deploy the gear. Yeah, we're going to be over speeding here. Yeah, don't do what I'm doing here. This is a go around, I think. Yeah, I tell you what, let me do the right thing. I'm going to go around. San Francisco traffic, Embraer Pilot Club 6 going around, runway heading off of 6 left. Alright, so go. Alright. Let's go. Flaps off. We'll go on heading mode. Why are we overspeeding? Alright, we'll stay at 36. Come on with the speed. It's because auto throttle. Forward slip, yeah. I would have done it, but we're okay. Alright, so we'll go ahead and make the left turn here, and we'll reset up. Yeah, we didn't really do a good job here, so with this go around. Go gear up.
Class Charlie in 7.8 miles.
Alright, we'll go ahead and turn. Left downwind. Oh, I guess the wind changed. Let me see what we want to do here. We may have to reset up. Alright, so let's do this. Yeah, because looks like now they're landing. Looks like they're landing 2.5s now. Nope, it's still. Six right, we're going 6 left. Alright, now it's okay. We'll stick with that. What we got set up. Man, what a mess here.
Class Charlie in 2.5 miles.
Alright, nope, they're still landing 6s. See, that's what I get for not paying attention and getting behind the airplane. Luckily, just do a go around here, not too bad. Right.
Class Bravo in 3.8 miles.
get a good intercept angle here. Alright, we'll go ahead and intercept. Alright, we got the loc. And we should get the glide slope shortly. LA traffic, Embraer Pilot Club 6, turning final for runway 6 left, LA.
Delta below in 6.4 miles.
Alright, we're 10 miles out. Let's go flaps 1. Glide slope captured. Missed approach altitude is set.
Class Delta below in 7.0 miles.
Yep, a
Class Delta below in 8.
little bit of a tailwind there, but that's okay.
2500.
Let's go flaps 2. Flaps 3 gear down.
Cabin crew, seats for landing.
Alright, all the lights are on. Let's go flaps 4. Flaps 5 should be 146. Perfect.
2 mile final runway 06 left.
Let's get stabilized a little bit here. And we are exiting right, probably on Uniform or Sierra.
Approaching minimums. 300. Minimums.
Continue.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Rose green.
Auto brake.
Manual braking. exited on Tango, that's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our destination airport. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated and fasten your seatbelts until the captain turns off the seatbelts fastened signal. The use of electronic devices is
LA traffic.
Approaching runway 06 right.
Embraer
24
Pilot Club
left.
6 crossing 6 right on Tango, LA.
Entered runway 06 right. 24 left.
Alright, let's look at our rate. Alright, we'll take that 308. A little bit of a bigger flare than we wanted. I usually like to keep it at 5 or 6, but it's okay. Normal landing. Mitsuki, if you're still watching, oh, why we stopped. Sorry, it wasn't an epic landing as promised, but it was normal landing. No problem. Alright, so we're making a excuse me, left turn on Echo. LA traffic and Embraer Pilot Club 6, clear of 6 left. We're texting to terminal via Echo, last call, LA. APU's on. Okay, now we can get rid of landing lights and strobe. Make sure we're okay. Yep. And we need to go all the way down to Terminal 1. So Delta 8 is when we'll turn. So next turn. Yep, I was going to say J-Foot 709, that's exactly it. You don't want to linger on the runway. Get her down and get off the runway for the next aircraft. Alright, Delta 8, we're turning. Alright. And I thought... nope, I think we're okay. I think this is where we're supposed to go, right here. Alright. Transponder on standby. Taxi lights off. And we'll stop here. All right. Go ahead and get the jetway. Stairs.
Cabin doors on manual cross-check.
Yeah, well, welcome to LA. Go ahead and get the services going here. Alright, so let's look at OnAir. Oh. Yep, regular landing. We'll take that, no problem. Landing speed 146. Alright, so let me go to menu. Miscellaneous, where we gotta go? Nope, performance data. Yeah, 146. URAV 138, okay. Very good. Well, welcome to LA. JFoot709 says, I've heard Sim Update 2 in 2024 has magically fixed a lot of the issues FSS had with this plane in 2024. You know, it's interesting you say that because FSS says that the plane isn't even flyable in 2024. So I don't know what the disconnect is there, but the issues that it has here, I mean, it is early access, but the issues that it has here is primarily based on the default flight manager or FMS. So I don't know what's going on there, but anyways, the custom FMS for this airplane is coming in June, is my guess, because of the FS Expo. So we'll be there. We'll take some videos, and hopefully shortly after the FS Expo, they will release it. It is my favorite aircraft to fly still. Even with the issues, I mean, I can work through them, no problem. VNAV is not there, etc. But I really enjoyed this aircraft. So, all right, very good. Well, I think this will do it for us. Wanted to remind you that today's flight has been brought to you by the pilotclub.org, and for group flights, activities, flight school, VATSIM training, virtual airline, and more, check out the pilotclub.org. I thank you guys for tuning in. And JFoot709, I see your comment. I got you. Okay. Oh, I got you now. Okay, makes sense. So then it works in 2024. Got it. So yeah, thank you for watching the stream. I hope to see you guys later. We got F&O later on today. If you want to fly that group flight, it's really for experienced VATSIM flyers. But if you want to check that out, please do. And I'll see you on the stream next time. See you.